A very big hi and welcome to this birthday vlog. Now, I celebrated my birthday um, just yesterday, and this is how we celebrated it. Spearheaded by my sons who took me down to Folkestone, very rocky beach. Now, Folkestone is a coastal town on the English Channel in Kent, southeast England. This town lies on the southern edge of the North Downs at a valley between two cliffs. Initially, a very important harbor, a shipping port, and fashionable coastal resort for most of the 19th and mid 20th centuries. Not far away from where we live in Kent, only an hour and 5 minutes or so, it really is underrated. Now, this is not new place to me. I've been some many years ago and I really loved it. But my family hadn't been, my children hadn't been here, and we decided to all come along to this very stunning beach. Um, Come along with me as I show you around this very beautiful beach. If you're a family with young children or even adult children, you're a family of adults and so forth, anybody really would absolutely love this very stunningly beautiful beach here in Kent. And it's very rocky. It's a rocky beach, so it's not sandy at all, and but it really is just a very relaxing and extremely beautiful place, as you will see for yourselves. Everything really speaks for itself in this video, and on the most part, I probably will do not very much talking, and I will just let the beauty show for itself. Now, yesterday was Saturday, and it looks like as though there's usually a band up just from where we just walked down. This way we are walking is a zigzag. It's called the zigzag walk, and it leads you down as you turn and go in a zigzag direction, which is self-explanatory, and it takes you right down to the actual beach area, which you can see from where we are walking. The direction is actually leading us down to and heading to. Now, even on a Saturday, we found this place, you know, not busy at all. In comparison to other beaches and other coastal regions or sandy beaches, I found this place to be far more peaceful. You're not going to get your typical, merry-go-rounds and lots of ice cream shops. Not a lot of fish and chip shops, but definitely there are, of course, those shops are there, and you're going to get your typical, very, very, very quiet, very scenic, not a lot of activity on the beach, but very much a very beautiful place for those who would like to perhaps do a family picnic, a very quiet family picnic. Now, it takes at least 15 minutes walk down from above to the beachy area. And this is sort of the rocky sort of alleyway and ways that we went through that continues to take you down. These, as I mentioned earlier on, were a very cliffy area. It's edged between two cliffs, and this is very typical. And I believe that the history, when I looked at it, these cliffs were formed or were formed by themselves, and as they broke down and formed, then the rest of the area with all this beauty was then created. So a level of history there as well. And finally, down here, we had reached a place, and there was an ice cream shop that sells some basic snacks such as hot dogs, ice creams, and so forth. We didn't get anything there, but we just to mention that if you wanted something like an ice cream along your way down, you'd get that. This is one or two of the hotels that sit above, overlooking the actual sea view. And this was actually before we actually walked down. So this is on the upper level, just before we started our zigzag walk. Zigzag walk has changed, and you'd find yourself walking a little further down towards where the band was, and then taking a turn.
Guys, in order to get downwards, Chan is very clever. You already know the direction. Downwards,
so in order to actually start the walk. As I said, that was exactly where it was closed off. There was a red sign there. So we turned around and began to find our way down. I just like to talk about the very, very important need for us as families, especially immigrant families, to actually take time out. Very often we live here, we work here, and we very often find ourselves in such a routine that we often can easily forget to actually take time out. It is so important. Day breaks are probably better than waiting for a long time to actually take long breaks. And definitely, my family and I feel that we need to get away a bit more than we ever have been. It's really crucial to bring build a bond and to come together as a family and break yourself from routine. It's very good for our mental well-being, and I really would like to encourage everybody else that perhaps maybe it's difficult to take regular breaks, but every now and again, try and find some kind of ways of how you can get away and do things, as a family, if you already are not doing that. Now, back to this overlooking the sea. We can see the rocks splitting into two there, and this is called the Mermaid Beach. And you can see the absolutely stunning views there. And back up again, and these are the apartments and flats that also overlook the the sea views, and they they probably perhaps after a while you probably do you get tired of it? Do you get tired of such beautiful views? I would like to think not. And so here we are, and I took a bold step and decided to walk over the rocks. I didn't do I didn't walk all the way to the end. However, my older son and my younger son, walked and took some really quick steps to the very end, like literally to the end. I did not make it, is what I was saying, and I kind of toddled around, and this is when I realized that there's a difference between age and gravity, right? So no longer am I that 20-something, 18 teenagers and 30s, and I need to be a lot more careful. But having said that, I think if I had my trainers, I might just have been a little bit more confident. So there we are, walking along the beach and sighting the beautiful seagulls, the typical British bird that the British people say that is a menace, but actually I find them really interesting. And I'm very curious. I'm a bird lover and I love to watch birds. So continue watching and enjoy the views. This is how we spend our day. We bonded, we talked, we walked, and later on we wound up at the Ashford Designer Outlet, a place I had definitely not been to, which is circular kind of structure with all these designer shops. But we were just after the Nando's where we had our earlier dinner. So keep watching and enjoy. There was a significant amount of time for us to refresh, to cool down. And the road on this Saturday was not very busy at all towards Folkestone. It was a smooth ride. And you find yourself along, I believe it's the 820. My son was driving. And also near this town is the town of Dover, which is also the getaway to, for instance, France, if you're going by car. So here we are. This was when we were heading towards Folkestone. And just to give you a glimpse of how the ride was. And here we are, arrived and walked onto the, there's a restaurant, I believe. That green structure there is a restaurant overlooking the entire sea areas. And this has got to be the most stunning view. I will continue to let you enjoy the views.
spending like $750,000 on new playground to then have the lease done.
So I think it is comfortable or easy for me to say that there is way too much to do in Folkestone for the day that we spend there. If you are somebody that would like to go and spend more time and explore the area a bit more, there is a lot more to do, and that can actually be found online. Restaurants, museums. I believe there's also like a zoo where you can see monkeys and so forth. So there's so much more, and this is not the end of Folkestone. There is a lot more to it than this video. However, I showed as much as we were able to cover, and I hope that you have enjoyed it up to now. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to my channel. If you've liked what you've seen, share it, like it, and help me bring up my views up so that many more people can find this channel and actually enjoy what I am sharing. Thank you so much. Continue to enjoy. And until next time, subscribe, like, and God bless you. Bye.